Hey, Pastor Dave here. Let's talk worldly values versus biblical values. This is the first one in a series, and today I want to talk about sexuality and sexual ethics. Because when you look at worldly values around sex, it primarily revolves around two items. One is consent, that sex be consensual, and good for you, world. You haven't lost everything. You still have one thing right. The other thing is that you should be responsible, so as far as sexual disease and pregnancy and so forth. Now, there may be another that people add or may not add, and that is love, that you should love the person you have sex with. Others will say, no, a hookup is just fine. Well, what's the biblical ethic? The biblical ethic, the way God leads us, is very much different from the world because it won't lead us just with that idea of, for instance, consent. There's more to it. And so God gives us a relationship in which sex is meant to be expressed, binding two hearts together and for the procreation of children. And that is marriage. So that when God made Adam and Eve in Genesis chapter 1 and 2, he bound them together. He created marriage, and in that marriage, the expression of our sexuality. Now, in the New Testament, we have something else about the sexual ethic. So in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, I'm reading here, it says, flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. And do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, you're bought with a price. All right, so that is the biblical sexual ethic. We, as Christians, should not be conforming ourselves to the reduced values of the world that are wholly inadequate in and of themselves. Having said that, all of us deal with sexual temptation. Think of a kid leaving high school, going into college, and the freedom that offers. Someone who's middle-aged, going through a middle-age crisis, or someone who's married, having stress and disharmony with a husband or a wife, and how that can lead to sexual temptations as well. Look, temptation is out there, that's for sure. God's forgiveness is for those who have fallen sexually, like all other sins. But the way that God directs us remains the same no matter what our temptations or no matter what inadequate values that the world puts out there. God gave sex, it's a good gift, in holy marriage to bind two hearts together and for the procreation of children. Anyways, you all have a wonderful day, and remember that Jesus does indeed love you.